G'day tradies, my name's Jamie Gray and welcome to another What Tradies Want Tradie Tough Test. And today we're going to be taking a good look at the Paslode Impulse Frame Master. And I know many of you have owned this gun over your time, and there's a really good reason why it's still today the #1 selling gun around the world. So why don't we delve in a little bit closer and we'll check it out right now. So if we had to break down why this gun's been so successful over the time, there'd probably be 4 main categories. And I guess it'd be power, weight, durability and ergonomics. Those 4 things combined really make this gun a true standout. I guess it's no surprise to anyone that in recent years there's been a few more players in the market, particularly in the terms of gasless and battery operated guns. But one thing still stays true is the weight difference between the Paslode and those battery operated competitors can be anywhere from a kilo all the way through to 1.5 kilos. So if you factor that in over the course of the day, if you're up on a roof putting in frames or battens, that kilo either on your belt or on your hand really does take its toll, especially on a day like today when it's 40 degrees. And if you then times that day by a week or several weeks when you're at that stage and the frames are going up and you're working heavily with the gun, it's a massive difference between being basically completely worked or baked at the end of the week with sore shoulders and arms, or still being fresh and being able to get out there and have a good time on the weekends. So when it comes to performance, I guess all the nail guns in the market are going to be able to shoot in some nogs and battens and things like that where you're pretty much going into soft pine, but it's really when you're going into harder timbers, hardwoods, LVLs where you really need to penetrate that the Paslode Impulse really shows its true worth. The depth gauge is perfect for being able to really finely maintain exactly where you want that nail depth to go. And the other side of the coin is when you're using the Paslode, you don't have to come in and finish off those jobs with the hammer. You can get the perfect depth first go, and that's, I guess, on the power side, it's an unmatched product. So I've got some offcuts of some hardwood decking that we used on a balcony. On this particular job, we did have to pre-drill and screw with stainless steel screws, but just to show you how strong the Paslode is, let's put it on the maximum depth gauge here. We'll see how far we can penetrate through both timbers. Mate, I don't care what anyone says, for hardwood like this, that's a pretty impressive effort. I've recently been doing the rounds of Sydney, having a couple of good chats with builders and chippies on sites all over the place that have been still using their Paslode guns, for some of them up to 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years on the site with the same gun. And you do hear a couple of stories every now and then where there might have been some servicing issues or some misfiring, but that's generally with the older guns that have been used to shoot through things like FC flooring. The new models have really updated the consistency and the firing ability of the guns into those kind of materials, and it's all round just produced a much better gun. And then when you hear about some of the abuse that these guns have copped over the years, like getting dropped off roofs, getting dropped off the scaff, and then basically still firing and working fine and really putting in some serious hours, it really is a pretty amazing product. So I think for all of those reasons, we're going to have to give the Paslode Impulse Frame Master the big Tradie Tough Test seal of approval. So I'd just like to give a big shout out to my mate Dave Hudson from Milestone Building for letting us come on site today and shoot the vid. And for everyone out there, we really hope you love this video. Don't forget to hit the like page and the like button for this video. And I've just had a sneak peek at what's coming up in next issue. So don't forget to follow the page because we've got some cracking new products. I'll catch you soon.